Today's chat is about when I was a child. When I was 13, every Saturday I would get up and I would go out on my bike and I'd go up to my mates who lived up the other end of town, and I'd get him out of bed every Saturday. And while he was getting up, I would sit downstairs in the kitchen, and his lovely mum, she was a darling, she really was lovely, she'd cook me egg and bacon, sausages and a fried slice, a cup of tea. Oh, it's lovely. She cooked lovely food, she really did. And because I never got breakfast at home because I left home too early. I'd leave here at 8:30 in the morning, and so I got up to his house about 9 o'clock, and we would have breakfast in his kitchen with his mum, and then we'd jump on our bikes, and we would be out from 9 o'clock right round until 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening. And we would cycle across the fields, and we'd make dens in the hedgerows, and we'd go into all the local villages, and we'd go to the shops that there were then, they're not there now, and we'd buy sandwiches if we could get something to eat like that, and we'd buy bottles of dandelion and burdock. And we'd sit in any of the local playing fields and we'd drink our bottles of dandelion and burdock, and we'd eat whatever we could buy food wise, packets of crisps, chocolate, all very bad for you. But it was a lovely childhood in a way, because we were free, really free, and we'd be out all day. We had no worries about anything at all. We just got lost in time, really. And my parents weren't worried about me, where I was. They knew I was with my friend somewhere, and his mother weren't worried about him or his father. We were quite safe, really, and we enjoyed our childhood. We had a great time roaming the countryside, looking at birds, watching the rabbits jump about, looking at horses, cows, and not getting into trouble as such. We weren't really troublesome kids. And then we'd go down to a little stream and we would spend hours down the streams and playing in the water and just making dams to block the water from running down. And it was a lovely childhood, it really was. And I remember going fishing with him, and we'd go to a little lake that's just up the road, and we'd catch tiddlers, we'd catch little fish like this. Or we could just pull up on the side of the road and just dangle our rods in, and we'd just catch little fish. And we'd end up not really fishing, we'd end up sort of just sitting on the side of the bank and just mucking about, really, in a way. And his father would come and pick us up later on in the day. It was a lovely time. It really was a lovely time. It was. And we did that every single Saturday, without fail. Every Saturday we would. And we never got into trouble in any way whatsoever. We were good little kids, really, to be quite honest. And we'd end up walking home sometimes because we both got punctures on our bikes, and we got rained on because it poured. We got soaking wet. We'd shelter under trees. and we'd mess around in the parks in the villages that we went to. So we went to places like Grinstead Green and Stystead, which is just over there, and we'd end up in places like Pedmarsh and Finchamfield, and they all had little shops at that time and pubs. We'd go into the Jug and Bottle in quite a few of the pubs that there were in these villages, and we'd buy Coca-Cola and Mars barses and packets of crisps, and we'd sit in the parks and we'd eat them. But it was a time of freedom. We were free. We hadn't got any restrictions on us at all. Time just disappeared, basically. It just vanished. We weren't aware of what the time was. You know, we'd eventually sort of ramble home, and we'd always end up back at his, and where I would then have another cup of tea and perhaps a sandwich before I come home. And then I'd come home, I'd come in, and it would be gone 6 o'clock when I came through the back door. And Mum would say to me, "Where have you been?" And I would say, "Well, I've been out with my mate, and we've been riding round the countryside." And she was not bothered, because she knew we were quite safe. She knew that we weren't getting up to anything really that was naughty as such. But they were good days. I enjoyed those days. It was freedom in a way. It was freedom from everyday life, and it sort of made up for all those trips backwards and forwards to Chelmsford by bus every day in a way. But they were lovely days and I enjoyed them. Till the next one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.
Gosh, look at that big place over there. That is nice, isn't it? I don't think I've been round here before, so I'm hoping I'm going to come out somewhere near my little village. You know, somewhere where the shops are. I don't know. Have to find out, won't I? I keep walking. I hope I'm not lost anyway. Look, another little house. Quite tall, that one, isn't it? Nice colour, too. Gosh, look at how the trees are grown over together. It's like walking through a little archway, isn't it? Isn't that lovely? Up this little way. It's really so peaceful round here. Really, no cars. I haven't seen any cars at all down this little lane. Well, not cars, what a drive-in, put it that way. It is lovely, isn't it? Beautiful. Little open field through there. And through here too, there's a little sort of field with sort of bushes and things on. Quite nice, isn't it? Gosh, look, another little cottage here. I think there's two. One little pink one and one little cream one. There's a lot of little places, isn't there? But I don't know where I am. I don't know whether to go the other way. This way. I've just come through that little gap from the field, and there's a beautiful cottage here, as you can see. It is gorgeous, isn't it? Very, very nice. Just come down here now. Not sure which way to go. Not sure where that leads to down here. Whoops.